in Ubud, Bali, with a message for today, which is, if there's one lesson that I've had arise over and over and over again in my life, it is to trust my intuition. Yeah, I feel like a lot of us, I would be very surprised if this was unique to me, but it feels like many times we go through processes in our life and we're either grateful that we trusted our intuition, or we have the opportunity to sit and reflect uh, and having the opportunity to trust our intuition next time. And so I just wanted to talk about this for a little bit, because the intuition, it can almost feel like this esoteric concept for some people. When people talk about intuition, it seems very seventh dimensional, or something that's, out in the astral plane. But it's something that we all experience. We all have had the experience of, at some point, maybe someone walks in a room and you have a sense about them, that whether or not you're going to be good friends with them, or you have a connection, or maybe that there's something that's repulsing you, or telling you to avoid that person and not to get too close to that person. Whatever it is, the question is whether you listen to that sense. You might have had an intuition about a career path, something you're doing, or maybe you're in a job and you're going, okay, this is good for now, but I can feel like in a year from now, or in a certain period of time in the near future, this really isn't going to be aligned for me, right? And so with having that sense, you either prepare for that moment a year from now, or whatever the period of time is, or you don't. So you either listen to it or you don't. And what I want to say is that this is such a gift. Having this sense is such a gift. And part of the reason I feel that we don't listen to this is because of a few things. One, just in general, we have a lot of fear around life. We just have a lot of fear in trusting life, and even trusting ourselves, right? Because if you haven't built this muscle up, and you haven't built a relationship with this sense, you might feel confused. You might think, oh, this is just my mind, this is my ego, this is fear, and it's worth considering that, because the truth is that yes, sometimes you can have feelings like fear or anxiety come up, and you say, oh, this is my intuition, I'm having an intuitive sense, when really it's just your ego. It's not a real message from life itself. Okay? So the only way that, in my experience, you can get more clear is to start to listen to yourself. To be in the inquiry, yes, ask the question, where is this thing coming from? But take the time to be contemplative, because if you haven't built that muscle up, and you haven't gotten to the practice of listening to your intuition more and more and more, and actually saying yes to it when you get the feeling, then that voice gets quieter. It's just like anything else. The more that you work on anything, whether it's a specific skill, you build a relationship to it. And then that relationship feels natural, and it will become as natural as the ground that you're standing on. You will just have a sense, and you'll know, okay, this is what I'm meant to do, and you won't potentially know conceptually the reason why, but you'll have the feeling, and you'll have built that trust with the feeling, knowing that it will reveal itself to you when the time is right. It's almost like, how I've described it is like you have a sense of smell, and oftentimes you can smell things before you can see them. But because you trust your sense of smell, because you're smelling something, you know that the evidence of what you're smelling will reveal itself if you keep walking in the path of the scent as it gets stronger. It's just natural. If you have a sense, if you're smelling something, it's evidence that something's there. So in the same way with your intuition, if you're feeling something, right, in your heart, in your body, if you're feeling an intuitive sense of something, that means that something is there. You might not know in your mind yet what that thing is. You might not be able to see it with your eyes yet. It may not have manifested physically yet, but that sense that you have intuitively is the gift that is directing you and inviting you to guide you in a direction of what is in alignment for you. So listen to that. Recently I was talking to a friend, and she's in a place where she's had a great career for a really long time doing this specific work, and it's beautiful work. So externally, anybody who's looking at it would say, okay, great, keep doing that. It's great for the world. But in her heart, she started to have the feeling that this was no longer serving me. This is not what I'm meant to be doing. And she just stopped. She's in a place where she actually doesn't even really know clearly what she's going to do next. But she just realized, okay, I'm not meant to do this anymore. She's having this intuitive sense that this isn't serving me anymore. This isn't serving the world. And there's something else I'm meant to do. So she decided to stop. And she's allowing that sense to reveal what she's meant to do next. So she's exploring different things. And this is a really powerful thing. It's a brave thing to do. So I commend all of you who have ever been in a situation where you've done something like this, because it's not easy. And I also encourage all of you to listen to that, because it is another means that the universe is communicating with us always. There's another way that we are able to experience life outside of just the mind, outside of just the things that we can see with our eyes. There's other kinds of means of seeing and connecting and feeling and knowing. And so trust your intuition. For me, I'm so grateful, but also have been aware that this has been a big part of my life, is just feeling certain things and going, no, okay, this feels good, that doesn't feel good, and I don't know what it is that I'm going to be doing. Part of me had this feeling that, okay, I need to create some space and time in my life to actually start communicating some of the things that I've been learning and working on in my own life with everyone in the world. And it looks like this. I don't know how this path is going to turn out in a tangible sense. I don't know. And none of us really do. Ultimately, even if we think we do, we don't. But that feeling to me is enough evidence to say, okay, great, walk in that direction. Let it reveal itself to you. Find out. So I just want to invite you guys to do that and listen to your hearts, feel into it, take time, be silent, get clear, figure out what your intuition is telling you, and you know, what's possibly ego or what's possibly fear mechanisms or conditioning. This is Andrew McFarlane, wishing you all very well, sending you my love from Ubud, Bali. And as I mentioned in the previous video, I actually created some space in my life and in my schedule to begin to do one-on-one personal coaching for people who are inspired to connect and have a vision for their life and feel that they could utilize my support in manifesting that vision. All right, I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.